Welcome to another week of KitPlus Daily. As you can see, we've updated the backdrop this week to reflect the current message from our leaders. I hope you two have been alert this weekend.
We're always alert, Matt, and the three of us are continuing to work with each other with about 30-mile distance between us.
Indeed we do, with all the challenges that brings with it as well. So on the show today, we have a special guest who is a familiar face in the industry, and we'll be with him right after the news. First up today is news that IBC's show for 2020 has been cancelled. Despite the best work of the IBC team, there's still many unknowns about being able to deliver a safe and valuable event to the quality that's become expected of IBC. Over the coming months, IBC will continue to engage with the industry through its digital platform IBC 365 and will be keeping up to date with their plans.
Dejero has provided British teleshopping channel, the Jewellery Channel, with EnGo mobile transmitters, a waypoint receiver, a Q-point return feed server, and complementary Live Plus mobile apps that have formed a key part of the broadcaster's business continuity plan during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Jewellery Channel has also been using Dejero equipment to lead a significant change in how live teleshopping is produced and broadcast. They're continuing to broadcast from their main studio in London, but wanted to be ready to broadcast from home if this was required. And Dejero's technology has provided the comfort blanket required for that scenario.
Next, when it was announced that colleges and universities would have to close due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Hellenic American College in Athens was in an immediate position to be able to transfer on-site courses to synchronous online sessions. With the help of the SubtitleNEXT platform chosen for the Masters in Translation program and Audiovisual Translation Lab, students are currently able to continue working on SubtitleNEXT remotely to complete their courses without disruption. The platform is a flexible subtitling time text system that can run on different types of hardware, offering powerful features which have allowed students to continue their learning, and it will also enable them to progress to the next stage of their educational journey.
That's cool. And Editshare have announced that Jigsaw 24 is their first UK-based reseller to deploy EFSv, which enables virtualized production and editing workflows in the AWS cloud. In a nutshell, EFSv significantly expands multi-vendor remote production and post-production capabilities, which is of course attracted to Jigsaw 24's customers who rely on a broad range of creative platforms for their projects. You can find out more about the features of EFSv, then check out the link on screen now.
And if you're a regular viewer, you'll know that the Daily Show is brought to you with the support of Media Proxy, who, as you should also already know, is the global leader for all things compliance. With over 20 years in the business and over 15,000 channels deployed in over 60 countries, they are the trusted partner in the industry for logging, monitoring and analysis of linear broadcast and OTT.
Now, what you may not know is that their interactive Monwall multi-viewer allows for monitoring of hundreds of thousands of live streams using a unique exception-based approach via dynamic layouts. Mixing compressed and uncompressed streams as well as transport streams analysis all via one interactive interface. It opens new workflows, especially when working remote.
And we say at every show, if you're looking to replace your Volacom system, why not team up with the global leader in compliance? For more information, check out their website. Links on the screen now. And now it's time for our special guest.
So we're delighted to welcome Nigel Wilkes from Panasonic. Welcome to the show, Nigel, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for the opportunity. Good to see you.
Yeah, and you. Now, you guys recently completed your Future of Production webinar, which coincided with Panasonic's planned NAB announcements, which of course couldn't happen. What do you think were the key takings from that?
Well, the thing was that obviously we couldn't attend NAB this year, so we made the decision to put a virtual set together for our customers so that we could basically announce three major announcements. We had a new studio camera, the HC3900, which is aimed at the broadcast, education and corporate market, giving them HDR and SDR through a single CCU unit, with an option later on in the year to be able to upgrade to 4K 60p. So it's a sort of entry-level camera for us, and it'll be available around Q4 time. On top of that, we have the new UE100 PTZ, and for those that are familiar with our PTZ lineup, that sits between our flagship, the UE150, and the HE130. And the customers now can enjoy full bandwidth NDI, allowing 4K 60p through one single LAN cable. The SRT protocol that we've put in place also allows a steady image, which is really important when you're having an unsteady network being supplied. And that product comes out also Q4, so we'll be making further announcements around July time. But the big thing for us was the announcement of KAIROS. So this is a new platform for Panasonic. It's an IP video platform based on an open software architecture, which means that we can take in various components found within the broadcast program and virtualize them. This makes the productions far more flexible, dynamic and powerful. And also we put a Photoshop style interface in there, which allows our customers the flexibility to customize the look that they want. One of the big things is that the features are uncompressed SDI with SD2110 as well as NDI stream. So it means that we can take in anything. So we can take in HD, we can take in UHD, we can take in any aspect. So anything in means that we can put anything out the other side, which allows us then to connect to our projectors and also displays and maybe the big LED flat panels. So for the first time ever, Pana's now got a glass-to-glass solution. So we can give you PTZ, studio camera, put it through KAIROS, and then bring it out the other side onto flat screen displays, whatever it needs to go on. So, you know, it's a big strategy change for us.
That sounds very interesting. It's a shame we couldn't have seen it in person at a show, isn't it? So can you tell us what Panasonic have been doing in the way of maintaining engagement during the pandemic, and what we can look forward to in the next few months as well?
Yeah, well, the big thing is we can't get to our customers, and the customers obviously can't get to us. So we're doing everything virtually. I think we're all getting fed up with having earpieces in our ears and also looking at the screen. So what we've done is we've set up a technology experience zone, and it's more like a one-stop shop. So whatever you want to find, you can go to the Panasonic experience zone, and everything is there. So we're in constant communication with the customers. So we're talking to the channel partners, or we're talking to systems integrators, and also we're putting together things like podcasts, webinars, tutorials, and these go on a weekly basis. And we also include our partners. So we've got people like Moses, Brainstorm, Newtech, and Zero Density. So, you know, it's all there. And if any of our customers want us to do anything, they want a webinar about something, a certain product, or they want a technology update, let us know, because we're more than happy to put it together and get it online so people can sign up for the webinars.
Fantastic, yeah.
Now, Nigel, you're known and respected by many people, and without putting a number on it, you've been in the industry a very long time, I think. In these unprecedented times, can you give us an insight into where you think the industry is heading?
Do you know, this is a real tough one. I honestly believe that the industry is going to be in a different shape when we come out of this. With the social distancing that we have to put in place, that's going to be there for many months. And I think there's going to be a greater need now for remote studios. These may go into places like meeting areas, event spaces, broadcasters, even in schools, education, or even in people's homes. We've all been watching on the news, journalists on the news, where they're having to broadcast and stream from their houses, and some of the quality that's coming through, it sort of questions what they're using. So I think the live event side, the live event side, I think the remote strategy, where they're going to be needing multiple cameras, but controlled by one operator, I think that's going to be most important to everybody. I honestly think the rental companies will bounce back. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff for the systems integrators to do. And we need our channel partners to become more open-minded, understand that the broadcast industry is going to change, and we need them to grow with us and, learn this product and support Pana and support ultimately the end user. But, it's not new for us. It's not new for Panasonic. We've been doing this for a long time. It's a strategy that we've had for many years, and we will lead the way and continue to grow our technologies. And with the help with our engineers in Japan, I'm sure that we'll supply the products and the technologies that's required. But, without a doubt, this industry is going to change, and it will not be the same shape that we left it back in sort of February, March time.
It kind of leads me on to a question I thought about a minute ago, where, you're talking about change. Can you identify, without specifics, but can you already identify a change in the type of products that are being sold at the moment?
Yes, we can, and actually we've been watching this over the last few years anyway. If you look at traditional production, which is where I come from, the traditional camcorder, that market is on a mass decline, like huge, every year, year in, year out. And Panasonic, we are a manufacturer of technology. We're no different to a car manufacturer. So we make product that people need. And if we bring product out that maybe doesn't fit, or people don't want it, then we'll stop making it, and then we'll make something new. But the industry is changing. When I started, it was everything about camcorder. Here we are, 21 years on for me, and everything now is about studio cameras. But I think that's going to change as well. I mean, we have a very good studio lineup, and I'm very much supporting it. But you need a cameraman for every studio camera that you've got. So with PTZ, that now allows us to have cameras put into the most remote places and to be controlled from a totally different location. So, with the courts, you look at the courts, and we were successful last year with the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom, where we've got multiple cameras located in what is a strict area, a confidential area, but it means that now that they can record a court case without camera operators being actually in the vicinity. And we have it, houses of worship. You look at places like Westminster, for instance. They're putting cameras into places that are protected buildings, where they don't want a ton of cable. They don't want a load of cameramen. They want these cameras to go into places so that the people that are attending those locations actually forget that they're there and they can relax. But then you're seeing things like education. I've got two boys here, teenagers, that have been working from home, isolated for the last 8 weeks. Every morning they get up and they've got all the kit that they need. They go into their rooms, they sign on, and they do virtual lessons with their schools and with their colleges. And, you're going to see universities where lectures are going to be done from the university itself. But if the student can't attend that lecture, or we're still in isolation, then you're going to need things like tracking software and things like that. So I think, we're going to see the virtual market grow. There's no doubt about that. Live event, until we can put the crowds back in the stadium, which I think is going to be quite some time, you're going to need multi-cameras with maybe 1 or 2 operators there to still get that live feeling coming into your home. So yeah, the industry's going to change, but the traditional market, there's no doubt that is going to evolve. Yeah, no doubt about it.
A bit of a hike in that remote and IP, a bit of a jump in that remote and IP style production cameras.
Yeah, and that's why really with the KAIROS system, for us, you can now do a live event and basically feed in anything you need into KAIROS, and you can get any feed come out. There's no restrictions on it.
Yeah, we'll make sure there's a link on the screen.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nigel, for coming in and giving us your insight and all that. It's really interesting to hear, and we'll be keeping tabs on it over the coming weeks and months as well. So yeah, thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Take care, boys. See you later.
Thank you very much, Nigel, for coming in. Always good to catch up. Normally on a flight to Las Vegas, of course, but we missed that this year. Do keep an eye out for what Panasonic are doing over the coming weeks. It should prove very interesting.
Yes, it should. And for dozens of online events, and we're approaching 300 now, check out broadcastnetwork.co.uk, a site that was conceived to cover the NAB 2-week webinar frenzy, but continues to be the go-to site for what's on every day.
Yeah, it's a very simple site, but we've got big plans for it in the very near future to further help the community for which it was created to serve. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.